Hello, beautifuls. It's Charla here with Dragonfly Soul Healing. So, I'm here today to kind of talk about this energy shift that seems to be happening right now. A lot of fears coming up, asking to be healed, right? So, a lot of this energy has been surfacing to really help you shift gears. And so, to allow yourself to feel into these things and just see why these fears are showing up will really help us start shifting that energy. So when I was shuffling some cards, the Five of Pentacles came out and it was talking about fear surrounding money. The Crystal Cave is here at the bottom of the deck, says trust. And so with this one, it feels like we're really being asked to trust in this process, right? Because I can see this shift that's taking place, and I've always really followed this, like everything just shows up for you as you need it. And so I've really followed that for a long time, and I continuously go through my fears where I pull back into that fear of lack, and then I really have to tap into, okay, where am I still holding this idea of that poverty consciousness, and what needs to be shifted? Is this even my stuff? Because usually it's not. It's interesting, the wolf's been coming up a lot lately, and the wolf spirit is underneath that crystal cave. And so it says family, and it feels like we've been really coming together with our soul tribe over this last 6 months or so, but even more recently since the year has began. It's like more people are coming towards us. And as those shifts take place, we have to kind of evolve those parts of us that don't align with that new wave of energy that we're about to experience and go through with these new people. And this is where we are asked to release parts of ourselves and break down this identity that we've held so tightly onto. And really start seeing who is it that I really am and what am I actually here for. Because we get so stuck on this idea of who we think we are based on the projections that everybody has placed on us since being a child. And we hold on to these ideologies so deeply because they're embedded in that ancestral line. And so when we feel like we've cleared some of that stuff, and it comes back around, there's that frustration, but the reality is it's this circle and this, like that peeling of the onion, but you're always constantly going back around, and there is never a point where you're fully healed because there's no such thing really. And it's not to deter from working on that healing, because it's like it gets easier to just go through your trigger and then work through it and carry on, and those triggers start coming in less and less as you work through it and start just seeing how those patterns come in and how to be released. And so that's also where that trust energy is coming in, is listen, we are learning every day how to work through this energy. This isn't an energy that we have experienced in this human body before and in human bodies before this. So this is a different frequency than we are used to, and we are learning how to shift our programming and everything like that to get into these higher timelines so that we pull away from that chaos. So the storm spirit chaos card had fallen out of this deck, and that's kind of that energy we are in. And one thing I was thinking about while I was shuffling the cards before I started this video was that chaos is kind of always going to be there. There's always going to be those lower timelines, because where there's light, there's dark, and vice versa, right? There will always be that balance, that duality. And so one of the important things right now is stepping out of those negative, heavy timelines and allowing yourself to just start seeing the magic, right? We're not ignorant to know that there's chaos happening in the world. There always has been. There will be forever. Yes, we're here to evolve and help awaken as many people as possible. Everybody is on their own choice and their own time. And so not everybody is going to wake up at the same time. This always comes in waves, right? So there's always this wave of energy where there's some new people starting to shift and see that truth. There's those triggers where they're like, this is when I'm going to awaken. This is when I'm going to trigger that truth in myself. And so we all chose our point of awakening to make sure we were ready for the wave of people that are awakening now or in the future if you're just awakening, right? Where you're helping those next waves moving forward on how to evolve this perception of what we're doing here. There will be a lot of things that allow us to get to that place of shifting and really just manifesting those dreams. With this water spirit here, says manifesting dreams. And that's what I always see is we can start learning how to shift those perspectives of what it's like to be a human here in this world and living with magic and with those higher frequencies. And each child generation that comes in will have those higher codex, which really helps us evolve this human perspective. It has taken a long time to get us this deep into that heavy, dense timelines. And so we have to recognize that in this lifetime, we really chose to come in and create this starting foundation of what life is going to look like moving forward. And so while we progress through this in this lifetime, we will be able to evolve to those higher timelines and really pull away from that chaos, though it's not going away in this lifetime. And so this is where, while we're going through these like really frustrating moments and this energy shift that's kind of really sneaking in on people right now this last couple days here, to really try and pull us off target, that energy is here. And this is stuff that we just need to start learning to work through instead of being frustrated that it's here. Instead of getting angry at these things that are happening in the world and really getting emotional about it, find the passion in who you're supposed to help heal. We can't change that wording. We need to pull away from that really deep chaos and ask ourselves if that's part of our mission to start healing. Is that what you're here for? Or is that a distraction pulling you off of your mission? Or are you meant to heal the land right around you and then tapping into all the sacred places that are similar to the land that you just healed because you now have the codex to help that other spot too? Are you meant to actually help the humans right around you in your circle? Who's actually contracted to you? What are you contracted to? Because while you sit here being triggered by those things, you're actually creating an exit strategy to move off of your path because you're trying to fight for something that's not even your mission. There's people on that mission. These things that are happening should be the trigger to make you see that, oh, this is where this is time to activate things. So that is what I use these things for. So when this stuff starts happening in the world, I'm like, oh, this is this part of the mission. And I don't even really know what that means when those triggers happen. What I do know is I get really excited. When all the bridges went out in Vancouver, I was like, yes, they're like this. We're here at this point. I knew that was a really important moment in our time because that was a trigger point in my blueprint saying, hey, look, there's something about this. We said we needed to be at this place by here. So all these lessons that I maybe have pushed to the side and avoided came to the surface and said, okay, remember we said we were going to be here at this point. Those bridges just collapsed, which means we still have this shit to clean up because you've been avoiding it. So then we get hit with those crazy waves where we go really deep into that fear and that belief that we don't have a family because all of our bloodline family are assholes, or they're not us, or they're triggering, or they can't heal, because you were here to help shift that paradigm. You're here to break those family line karmas, to release that. You're part of that shift. You're not meant to fit in with the family. You're not meant to be with them necessarily. Doesn't mean we have to abandon them. However, it does not mean that you are obligated to stay with them. You have a soul family here, and that is the people just like myself that are on this journey helping that family line break free of those generational curses that they've been carrying. This mentality of work, pay bills, and die. This is shifting. And so while you evolve with it, find your tribe, find your pack, because it's in your soul family that you really start finding your purpose, your magic, your mission. You have people holding you and supporting you while you heal your family line stuff. People who can call you on your bullshit, and they're not going to trigger you the way that your blood family would, because they're triggering the Akashics asking to be released. But you can't see it when you're not around the magic people. How many of your friends do magic things with you? Do you have magical conversations with them? Or do you talk about really human-y things? Talking about human stuff's not a bad thing, and I'm not going to project that. However, what we've been perceived of being a human has been so hazed and fogged that we get lost in talking about things and stuff and jobs and things that don't matter. We're here to literally manifest our dreams. We're supposed to go with the flow and stop controlling how the path goes. This is flow, the meandering pathway. We get all of these trigger points here. So here's like the bridge, the Travis Scott concert, the things that were my triggers. This war starting was just another trigger where it was like, oh yeah, okay, so here was another thing. This is what we're ready for now. These are the things that we need to start activating in the people that I come in contact with, right? We have this knowledge that we hold, that we're on this journey, taking everybody on, shifting the dynamics of where we're going. And in following that pathway, you find it. In avoiding these things and staying stuck in those really human karmic patterns, we'll say, we aren't able to manifest our dreams because we don't trust in the process. We trust in a hierarchy. We believe karma's like got our back, or on our, what am I trying to say? Karma's like bitch slapping us, right? And so we hold these ideas, like all these projections that our parents have put on us, their parents put on them, that the systems out there are putting on us, putting all this fear in our system. So we need to start using this knowledge and really allowing ourselves to go with the flow. Stop freaking out about those big things, right? Pull out of that empath stuff. Stop taking that shit in. That's not your stuff to heal. If that's your stuff to heal, go fucking do it then. Stop screaming. Stop trying to project everything. What in yourself needs to be healed so that you're not triggered by that stuff, so that when you go to heal it, you literally power up your magic and change things. That's what we're here to do. And so while we're projecting and screaming and trying to change things in the way that we used to, you're getting lost. So change the narrative. What do you need to shift to really heal that thing? If you're meant to help heal Ukraine, putting blue and yellow everywhere is not changing anything. You can send them energy, yes, but ask yourself, are you supposed to? Is that your mission, to send them energy, or are you just actually allowing energy to be pulled from you that's not even part of your purpose? So you're kind of just putting your nose in business that's not yours. And I only say this because we hold these missions, right? So I'm not worrying about Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that, because that's not my shit. You know what I'm worrying about? where I need to evolve, and the knowledge that I need to prepare to start shifting and giving to everybody that I come in contact with. What do my clients need right now? What needs to be healed in their field? What needs to be healed in this land that I'm working on? Everything that comes to me is stuff that I need to decipher whether it's mine or not to heal. But I don't need to go out and find stuff in the world. There's always going to be something. So if you're constantly setting yourself up for disaster in this aspect of like getting distracted on something on the news, guess what? There will always be something on the news to heal, to project about, to get mad about and triggered about. There'll always be something. The news is there to literally create chaos. So, are you there to start bringing the truth to the news? If not, pull out of it. What are you really here to do? It comes to you naturally. So for me, it always started as people asking me for advice. And the deeper I went into it, the more people came to me, and the deeper knowledge I received because of the codes that every person came to me gave me, and vice versa. We would transfer things and create a bigger picture and a bigger story and a bigger understanding. And then the next person would come and I would have more information, but then they would have other trigger points to help me get something else, to go deeper. My whole purpose has always been to just evolve and evolve and evolve, to have this knowledge to give to others. There's nothing to fear about that. There's nothing to do but allow myself to just do what I'm supposed to when that stuff shows up. And then trust in the guidance that I get to go to the places that I'm meant to heal. Other than that, I stay out of it. Or I'm learning to. I've been a nosy Nelly a few times, creating destruction in places that I wasn't supposed to, and guess what? It backfires, because it eventually shifts back to you, because it's like, this isn't your place, and it's taking you off mission because you're getting distracted. So that was different than what I was expecting, but it's kind of more that teaching that I want to get into, because I feel like we need to start going deeper, right? We need to break it down more. So I just got this deck in half to kind of get a closing message, and it's the Sun card. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. And so it's all about self, right? You've got this horizon of possibility right in front of you. What comes to you naturally? What are the things that always come to you? Are you a problem solver? You know, do you constantly go to land? Do you constantly heal people, like physically, like broken bodies and stuff like this? Do you come up on accidents? What are those things that come naturally to you? It's not something you're going to be able to just answer, but pay attention to it. Do you constantly have people asking you for advice? Okay, where is that part of your mission? Find those things, because those are important right now. It's time to step into mission. It's time to start seeing your truth and releasing those ancestral patternings, because we're on mission now, right? And so if you are here seeing my stuff, it means that you're literally ready to go do some really deep shit, because I don't really do the just simple things anymore. I do. We're still human, but we also go really, really deep. So let's start getting deeper, right? What do you need to do? Find yourself. Okay? I'll chat with you guys soon. Take care.